Community looks like. Show me what community looks like. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Amadou Lee, and I'm a Senegalese American, a proud New Yorker, and I am honored to be a naturalized American citizen. I came into this country in 2001 as a teenager. I was undocumented, with no one and nowhere to turn. Yet, I felt at home. As I walked through the city, the bright light seems to whisper in my ear, telling me, dream, Amadou, dream. You too, you belong here. But being undocumented meant living in fear. It meant being vulnerable. It meant facing deportation. However, after my life story made the front page of the New York Times, something extraordinary happened. People showed up, blue-collar workers, teachers, celebrities, even presidents. They too said that I belong here too. Because of them, I was allowed to stay here. Because of them, I was allowed to study. I was allowed to build a life. But every day, thousands of New Yorkers face the fear I once did without the spotlight. They fear being abducted, detained, and disappeared. With me today is Miss Aissatou Diallo and Mr. Perez. Miss Diallo has lived in the United States for over 20 years. This past Thanksgiving, she was abducted by ICE at LaGuardia Airport. She was shackled and detained. After decades of building a life here, her freedom was suddenly stripped away. Mr. Perez and his family fled Venezuela in search of safety to New York City. He and his partner and their 3 beautiful children were summoned to 26 Federal Plaza just before Christmas. Just before Christmas. Not knowing whether they would walk out together as a family. And standing beside each one, as he stood beside many New Yorkers, was public advocate Jumaane Williams. He used his position, he used his voice and his power, not for himself, but to defend people that are under attack, to speak to those whose voices are too often ignored. And because of that solidarity, because that leadership showed up, because the neighbors showed up, Miss Diallo and the Perez family can be here today with us. I would like to thank everyone who continued to stand with immigrant families in the face of fear and intimidation, and everyone who refused to look away. We are the proof that it matters. And we are reminded that advocacy can truly change lives. Because of the courage and compassion of New Yorkers, we stand here today at City Hall, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to swear in the people's voice, the people's champion, our public advocate, Mr. Jumaane Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for him.
Please raise your right hand. I, Jumaane Williams, I, Jumaane Williams,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of Public Advocate for the City of New York,
of the Office of the Public Advocate for the City of New York,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
I didn't forget. Zohran, Mark, we did it. We're here. Thanks to everybody out here. Thank y'all. Peace and blessing, love and light as we begin a new term, a new era for New York City. Thank you, everyone. I want to thank Amadou and his inspiring family for being here at this ceremony in New York. I'm a son of immigrants myself. My parents came over from Grenada over 50 years ago. I was just sworn in on my late father's Bible. My mother is here today. I'm so proud to have my family, my wife and my children and my sister and my mom, everyone standing with theirs. Their stories perfectly capture this moment for the city. The challenges we face, the hardships we endure, and the hope that persists. Those realities are often in tension because this is a time and a place of contradictions. One where even as the federal government drives us to despair, local leadership can invite inspiration. When this celebration at City Hall is only blocks from tribulation at Federal Plaza. When the relief that these families are still united comes as so many are being separated. And this sense of contradiction carries across the 5 boroughs. This is a city of enormous wealth and enduring poverty, of the greed of some and the generosity of many, of darkness and of light. And I've seen the darkness, of course, yet I look out on New York today and I see so much light. These contradictions mean we can at once love our city as it is and challenge its flaws, not as a reason for pessimism, but a call for activism. As public advocate, I've tried to be an activist elected official, someone who pushes back. Now I see the chance to push forward.
Estão me perguntando como é que funciona essa inteligência artificial que atende os clientes pelo WhatsApp. Sim, ela é parecidinha com...
To provide accountability aimed at the ideal that government has an opportunity and an obligation to do good. At the core of public service and progressivism is the principle of making government work and showing people it can work for them. That means we need to meet people where they are, also show grace instead of ignoring what brought them there, and be honest about why. The powers in place would rather create an other to blame for our problems than to address them. Whether it be our immigrant communities, our trans siblings, our homeless neighbors, or too many other marginalized groups. Rejecting those ideas means naming the reason that the powers in place perpetuate them, because if we are divided, the status quo stands. Whether you arrived in our city generations ago, or 5 years ago, or 5 minutes ago, the reason so many New Yorkers have too little are not because of the people who have even less or who have been here for less time, not because of the people pushed to the bottom, but the systems entrenched at the top. That's where we should focus our anger and our action. If we are not driven apart by the divisions of our races, our religions, our identities, but pulled together by the commonalities in our emotions, our needs, and our humanity, then we can all climb. I know that the project of New York is possible. That great mosaic described by another mayor who believed in democratic social ideals, David Dinkins. Yet the truth of it is there are people who are rooting for New York to fail. Some couch it in concern, others openly scorn our city. But at the heart of this hate is the truth that our success, that our very existence belies their core belief that New York is not possible. They demonize us because our mosaic challenges their ideology. They want to be right in their cynicism more than they want us to succeed in our idealism. They are driven by the idea that bringing together so many diverse people, cultures, faiths, identities into a united community is impossible. But New York, we are a shining beacon of possibility. We cross new cultural borders through each subway stop and are introduced to new experiences through each passenger. Our possibilities come in every language and from every heritage. So do our prayers, so do our people, so does our power. We've shown it in the face of oligarchy and authoritarianism. Neighbors standing with neighbors across borough and background to defend immigrant communities and feed hungry families. We see it in the multicultural mosaic that brought us to this very moment. Even with this great moment, I know that realizing the full potential of our possibility will not be easy. It never has been. Yet I believe it's possible to make great progress because I've seen it through my years in the building behind me and the streets before us. I've been in our movement and I've seen things move. The simple truth is that governing is hard, that achievement is exhausting, and I aim to assist my partners in government when possible and hold them to account when necessary to learn from what we've done and guide what we can do. I believe in this possibility that with the people, the tools, the passions, and the compassion that we need, we can meet the moment and create change. We can look into the unknown and see opportunity. That's the thing about uncertainty. Anything can happen, but anything can happen. We could make New York more affordable, more safe, and more just. We could, we can, and we have to try. This optimism toward action is embedded not only in our city's heritage, history, but in my heritage. In Grenada, Maurice Bishop took up the fight for these radical, crazy ideas, socialist ideals like housing, healthcare, and education. He demanded that we move forward ever, backward never, and today I echo that call from the Isle of Spice to the island of Manhattan. He also cautioned that revolutionaries do not have the right to be cowards. We can be afraid, but we have to meet that courage to match it. There are things to be feared, but there is also reason to hope. Hope is the embrace of possibility. Hope and fear are undeniably connected. Hope is the belief that good can come. Fear is the worry that it won't. In these contradicting ideals, we are faced with a choice, and I choose hope. In other words, I have faith. But faith without works is dead. So today, I'm committing to the work of public service, and I ask every New Yorker to commit their own talents to use what they have and do what they can for the success of our city and everyone who calls it home. I don't know if when my Grenadian mother arrived as a teenager, she hoped that a half a century later her son would speak from these steps. But she could have, because here in New York City, we choose to celebrate possibility and work to make reality. I wish I could go back and tell my younger self that. Instead, I'll say it to my daughters today, to the children of the Perez Araneda family, to everyone who may question their own worth like I did, or whether it's worth fighting for the city with all its contradictions and problems and possibilities. And I gotta take a second to say something to so many young people who are out there. But I'm gonna say it to one person who's waited 49 years to hear it. Little black boy, you were worth it. And you always were. And without any titles, you were enough. You were always enough. And you deserve to accept love, and you deserve to be protected. And I'm honored to be here to help create a city that's worthy of that for you. And I'm so proud of you. So just hold on, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. I'm so proud of you.
It's all right. It's gonna be all right.
As we head into a new year, a new term, I want to ask all of you to take an oath with me. Our neighbors, I know in Brazil, adopted this motto that I've tried to embody. I did hear it for Comptroller Lander, but I gotta give him his credit. That no one let go of anyone's hands, because if we're all connected, we can't lose anyone. So we hold on to the hand of our neighbor and we reach out with our other hand to grasp someone who may fall through the cracks, and we bring them along. I want everyone, if they're comfortable, take a hand of the person next to you or the arm and just repeat after me. We can all be the voice of the people. I know what's ahead, but I won't lose hold. And I won't lose hope. Anything can happen, so anything can happen. And as we march